Hey, I'm Ryan with Warner Discovers, and today we're going to look at a new product, MicroNova's AmpliPi, which is a whole home audio solution. Recently, I just moved, which is why I've been on a little bit of a hiatus, because you can see the new scenery. And one of the things I really wanted to have implemented in the new house was whole home audio. Now, the current house does not have speakers throughout the house, so it's a project that I'll have to be taking on. I'm excited to check this product out. I reached out to MicroNova and they were cool with me doing a few videos. And what we're going to do today is just unbox the product and see what it has to offer in the box. Hopefully I can focus on more of a feature-filled video soon enough. So this is what I got in. This is the AmpliPi. It just came in a few days ago, and let's open it up and see what comes inside. So this is an AmpliPi Sonoff Smart Scene wall switch, which I'm curious if this is custom firmware that they put on here or something, but I've never used one of these before. They also included some Euroblock wire connectors, which make it easy to connect in the back, power cable, and an Ethernet cable. Then we have the actual device here. So as you can see, this is everything that came in the box. I got the smart switch separately, but this is the main unit. As you can see in the front, you have the 6 different zones which light up, I'm assuming, when you're using them. And then you have the LCD panel here for showing you information. And then obviously an on-off standby light. And then in the back, we have the power connector, and then we have the controller inputs, outputs, USB, optical in, 3.5 millimeter in. Both the optical and 3.5 can be tied into any of the inputs simultaneously, I guess. And then you have HDMI and Ethernet, which the HDMI can also show, I think, the same or similar configuration to what it shows on the mini display in the front, but I'm not quite sure yet. And then you have an expansion slot, which is used to daisy chain into other AmpliPi that you can basically put in a server rack and have multiple, up to like 36 zones. So this will cover 6, and then you can buy multiples to daisy chain. Then you have RCA inputs that can be divided amongst your zones. And then your pre-out zones, which you can use an external amplifier to power those zones if you don't want to use the included Euroblock connecting speakers at the bottom. So you can see there you have your 6 zones through the Euroblocks. So if you take one of these, you can unscrew with a little flathead, insert your wires. I think it's up to like 12 gauge. And then you can just stick them in one of those Euroblock connectors, which is really convenient, especially if it's a tight space after you rack mount this. So you have 6 stereo zones, which powers up to 12 speakers total. Each speaker is 79 watt max. And if that doesn't suit your needs, you can always use the pre-outs. And then beyond the inputs on the back, you'll be able to stream Pandora, AirPlay, Spotify, DLNA, Internet Radio, Plex Amp, and they're obviously working on more with the software. So let's go ahead and open this smart switch. I'm curious what this looks like. So taking a look at the smart switch here, you can see there's 2 buttons on the front with a small LCD screen. In the back, your line in, your neutral, and your line outs. So I'm excited to check this out. You have some screws to mount it. And then they have a quick guide, as well as how to configure your wall panel. I'm excited to check out this wall switch. It'll be really nice to have a dedicated module for playing around with the AmpliPi. So now let's take a look at what's on the inside of the AmpliPi. So I just opened up the top of the AmpliPi, basically just took 6 screws to get it off. And you can see in here the different boards that they have inside to showcase how it all comes together. They actually have online the plans. I'll pop up a picture right now showing the layout of how this all comes together and works. But my brief understanding is that you have the power module here, which powers the speakers at the end going through this AmpliPi power board. And you also have this AmpliPi amp board, which one of these determines the switching of the audio sources between zones and things like that. And then you also have a preamp board and a controller unit at the top here, which has the HDMI out and the Ethernet and all that good stuff. But that is actually the part that is the Raspberry Pi controller unit. And so you can see, easy to follow, layout inside, really clean. What I can only imagine is great airflow with the sides slotted open here with the fan over here for the power distribution board. I'm very limited in my low-level hardware knowledge. So it's great to be able to open up the device really easily. There's just 6 screws here at the top, And I'm assuming if you have to replace any of the boards or anything, it's really easy to swap it out since it's all really nice and tidy on the inside. But just something that I think that is great to have accessibility on the inside to change out anything if necessary. So I hope that helps with a brief overview on what comes in the box with the AmpliPi and the Smart Scene switch. I'm really excited about MicroNova's product in general. I saw they had a Kickstarter back in 2021 to fund this product, and they really exceeded expectations. Everything I've seen, they've been updating their customers or people who paid to be a part of the Kickstarter, and I think that's really great. They're really connecting with their customers. They're staying updated on GitHub. All of their code and hardware and schematics, everything is open source. Everything that they're updating for their product, they've been informing about on GitHub as far as working on like AirPlay 2, for example, or using the Google Home or Amazon devices. They're working on integrating with that. So I'm really glad to see a company that's connecting with its customers, contributing to open source, and they also have a strong connection with Home Assistant, which I'm using a lot here at home. So I can't wait to get started to check this out, and stay tuned for a feature video so that hopefully we can dive in to see all the capabilities. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video helped.